folks. Welcome back to Free America. I haven't done a video in a while because I've been messing around with my camera, so I'm trying out a different camera today. This is my wife's DSLR that's capable of taking videos, so for what that's worth. I told you in the Cold Steel Canadian belt knife review that I couldn't wait to skin a deer, right? So I haven't killed one. So I wanted to show you this other Canadian belt knife. Now this one is made by, see if I can get that on there. Sorry guys, messing around with a new camera here. This one's made by R. Murphy. It's made in the USA. It's a high carbon steel blade. It's actually not a bad little knife. So you may have noticed I have a foxtail here, and yesterday I killed me a fox, and I skinned it. So I decided not to show a video of me skinning out the fox. So what I did do was I skinned it. The tail came off while I was skinning it, so I cleaned it and cleaned up the skull. There's plenty of videos about that kind of stuff if you guys care. So let's talk about this knife real quick. High carbon steel blade, zebra wood scales with leather pins and a lanyard hole. So I'm probably going to take this lanyard off because what I've noticed is that it just gets in the way. One of the other things that I noticed about this knife pretty quickly, I skinned one fox, which is not, I mean, he was big for a fox, but he's not a very big animal, right? And I lost the edge, so I had to resharpen this edge. I don't know if you can see that or not, but basically I just used a ceramic, you know, like a sharpening steel, right? Ceramic sharpener, and then I polished it up with a steel sharpener, and it's really sharp now. I mean, it's hair popping sharp, and I'm happy with it. But so let's do a quick comparison. So when we compare the two knives side by side, let's do it this way. There's a couple of things that stood out to me while I was using this knife. And one of them is the fact that it does not have a very pronounced choiler right there. And the Cold Steel does. So what that means is when I'm holding it in my hand, I feel like I have a better grip on it than I do with this one. This one I'm constantly afraid that I'm going to slip onto the edge. And as you can see, the edge comes right up to the end of it right there. So I was constantly afraid that I was going to cut myself by sliding forward. So that's a consideration, you know, that I took into mind. Also, the zebra wood scales are nice, right? But they're not great. They're actually a little too pronounced right here for my taste. So not crazy about that either. Other than that, the knife overall, I think, is a very high quality knife. I think I paid somewhere in the region of $35 for it. And it's an American made knife, and I appreciate, as you all know, I appreciate American made equipment. So when it comes right down to it, I was able to keep a good grip on the scales even when they were wet. So I can say with the Cold Steel, definitely have no problem hanging on to it when it's wet. Obviously, nice secure sheath on the Cold Steel, and again, I'm not crazy about this sheath on the R. Murphy. I mean, it's basically just something to hold your knife in. So I would probably spend extra money and go out of my way to get a Kydex sheath for it, which I'm not really inclined to do. So if I was going to compare these two knives, this one cost me less than 20 bucks delivered. I wouldn't change anything about it. Oh, and I was going to say, when it comes to we're talking about edges, this cold steel keeps, it's stainless steel, so it's much harder. It keeps its edge longer, and I normally just touch it up with a leather strop, you know what I'm saying, and keeps it nice and sharp. This one's a little more work to keep sharp. I'm not crazy about the scabbard or the sheath. The lack of a pronounced choil makes me feel unsafe with it, and it costs a lot more. So there you go. At the end of the day, I like the American-made knife, but I would choose the cold steel. So once again, thanks for hanging out with me. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, please like. If this is the kind of stuff that you would like to continue to see, please subscribe. And God bless America.